Hello, candle lovers. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Greg, and this is All About Candles, and I have a review for you today from Goose Creek. This is kinda cozy. Oh, the weather outside is frightful. Oh gosh, why am I starting to sing Let It Snow songs? I do not want it to snow. I do not need it to start snowing yet. Let's enjoy fall a little bit longer, Calgary, at least until November. I'm starting to feel that chill in the air sometimes, you guys. Anyway, so Kinda Cozy by Goose Creek. Gosh, I really like this fragrance, and I just thought that this candle was gorgeous when it was burning. I got quite a few from this collection because all of the fragrances really appealed to me, and I thought all the jars looked really pretty. This looked gorgeous when it was burning. One thing that I have kind of criticized Goose Creek for before is that they tend to release collections with a lot of fragrances that are very similar within them. And I noticed that as well with this collection of sort of forest trees and skyline. They're all nice fragrances, but they are all quite similar. They almost bleed together. So I'm getting kind of confused as to which one is which. To compare them to Bath and Body Works, I think Bath and Body Works actually does a really good job of releasing collections that are kind of cohesive, but also offer some variety within them. Do you know what I mean? Whereas Goose Creek, I think that they could release a lot less candles and just focus on making fewer candles better. Whereas what I think they actually do is kind of just throw everything up against the wall to see what sticks. But Kinda Cozy was a really lovely fragrance. The scent notes are my favorite things: sandalwood, warm amber, cashmere, and sugared vanilla. Don't let that sugared vanilla scare you. This wasn't a sugared candle or a sugared vanilla note from me at all. This is a pretty deep, dark amber candle. It's actually, when you read those scent notes, you'd think that this would be quite like mid to low range, but this is actually sort of in between like a mid to high range fragrance. There's something about it that's actually quite bright. I believe that the cashmere note in this, sort of clean, sort of cashmere fragrance in this, is actually quite a high-pitched fragrance. And then in the mid-range, you do have a super nice, like creamy and dusty sandalwood note. And there is a really nice, rich, sort of like glowing amber to it as well. Yeah, and it's just really warm and kind of cozy. And the base is a nice and smooth vanilla. Like I said, I don't get sugared vanilla. I just get a nice sort of smooth, deep one. And it's really nice. It's quite well balanced. And I have no complaints about the fragrance. However, let's move on to performance. That is just really an unacceptable look for me when we are only at this point in the candle, and I've been so careful to like keep the wicks trimmed and limit the burn times. And so Goose Creek, I have to say that I really enjoy some of their fragrances, but a lot of their candles have a tendency to kind of like blow their... I was just gonna use a really dirty metaphor that is not appropriate for a channel like this. A lot of these candles tend to really like come in with a bang, and you're like so impressed with the fragrance, so impressed with the strength and throw, and then they just kind of steadily go downhill from there. And I'm finding that more often than not, unfortunately, with Goose Creek candles. Similar to a Bath and Body Works situation where the first half or even the first 2/3 almost always good, right? And then the last third is questionable. Well, with Goose Creek, like the first half is usually great, and then it enters into some really like unacceptable territory sometimes. I mean, this is just like, it got so sooty and so swirly. I think I burned it about 4 times, and the first 4 burns, lovely. Strength and throw, a 7. lovely warm fragrance in my more open area. A nice solid 7. Looked gorgeous when it was burning. 5th or 6th burn, I look at it and the wax has just gotten so gross and dark and swirly, and I'm seeing soot really flying off of it. And so I extinguished it, and I just didn't really feel like screwing with it anymore, so I put it under a candle lamp in my kitchen. I candle lamped it for a little while, and it was all right under the lamp, but I did kind of feel like I didn't feel like it was as strong as I really wanted it to be in there for whatever reason. Like, I felt like maybe it was only a 6.5 or a 6 under my candle lamp, which is so strange. Like, that doesn't really make much sense. But I also wonder if it's because even though the wax is at this level, I did have a wax pool going on it to about here. And so I don't know, maybe the fragrance oils just changed. Things got a little bit corrupt. Like, I did melt it under a candle lamp until it was like all the way down to the wick nickels, and it was like a nice solid like 6 or 6.5 for a period of time, and then it just really petered off into non-existence, which is weird because I'm still getting a pretty good sniff of it right now. Like, it's definitely way weaker than it was when I first bought it, but I feel like I can still smell it well enough to describe the fragrance. So I don't know, just like, just such a shame that the last half of this candle didn't burn as beautifully as the first half. And so not a recommendation and not a repurchase for me, which is such a pity because I really, really liked this fragrance. I mean, I might buy it again. And just have it in a candle crock. I think this would be really beautiful to spending a week in the candle crock in my bedroom. I think I'd really enjoy it that way. So maybe I'd repurchase it, but not to burn it. And I just can't recommend it. Not if you want to burn it regularly. It's a lovely fragrance. And so if sandalwood, amber, cashmere, musk, and vanilla are up your alley, beautiful fragrance, but just don't expect to really be able to burn it much past here. Has anybody else burned this yet? Has your experience been similar? If you could let me know in the comments below, I would really appreciate it, because man, I just wish that it had been a great whole candle. Is that too much to ask for? I love you for watching. Thank you so much. If you can hit me up with a like, comment, subscribe to my channel, that would mean the world to me. You can follow me on Instagram at allabootcandles. You can email me your burning questions at allabootcandles@gmail.com. And yes, the burning questions video is coming. I got a lot more questions than I was prepared for. And so it's gonna be a segment that I really want to like produce and make really fun. And so burning questions will happen at the beginning of October, and I have got all of your questions. Either you emailed or you left it in the comments. We're gonna get around to it and have a good old time. So until next time, my gorgeous candle loving friends, let's burn some candles and bitch about it. Thanks, you guys. Bye now.